All right, guys, you absolutely suck in the bedroom. Let's fix that. I'm joking, but a lot of you have a lot of room for improvement. Let's just say that when it comes to your bedroom skills. I have been talking to a couple of the girls that I'm seeing right now. One is named M, and the other is Nisha, this lovely lady here that I've been talking about a lot on the channel recently. And both of them have told me about their past lovers. It's one of the questions that I love to ask. What was your sex life like in the past? Were there things that people did or didn't do that you would have liked them to have done? And I have compiled a little list here, adding in some things that other women in the past have told me a lot. And these are the most common things that come up. The number one thing that Nisha and the other girl M and a lot of other girls in the past have told me is that guys aren't kissing them very much. Kissing a little bit, but then the guys get a little bit too horny, jump straight into sex, go to Pound Town for 2 to 3 minutes, and it's all over, game over, done, roll over, and go to sleep. So many women have told me how much they fucking love kissing, but guys just don't seem to want to kiss them for very long, or the guy gets too horny. And so here is my answer to that. Guys, women, first of all, fucking love kissing. If you would like to give them that, if you would like to share in that and give them some beautiful, fucking incredible foreplay where you make out with them for a little bit, leave your pants on. Keep your pants on, so even if you get horny, you're not going to jump straight into sex, and play a fun little game of how long can I make out with her before we jump into sex. I am telling you, one of the number one things you can do to absolutely blow a woman's mind in the bedroom is kiss her for longer. You can caress her body, you can play with her a little bit, play with her boobies, play with her pussy, do whatever you want, but just don't stick that penis in the fucking wet womanhood cave. Take a little bit longer, have a little bit more foreplay, don't jump straight into sex, and the sex will immediately be 10,000 times better. Similarly, something else that these two women and plenty of other women have told me is that most guys don't do much in the way of foreplay. They don't caress, they don't tie the woman up or blindfold her, they don't put oil on her body and give her a nice massage, they don't make out with her and kiss her all over her body, they don't gently run their hands over her body and caress her. It's just, we kiss for 30 seconds, he gets horny, then he jumps on top of me, groans, moans, grunts for a little bit, I can't even say the fucking words, has an orgasm, rolls over, goes to sleep. So a little more foreplay, a little more slowing it down, a little more making her beg. When she starts getting horny, you can whisper in her ear, you need to beg for my cock before I give it to you. You are not allowed it until I know that you really want it. Drive her a little insane with that shit. Caress her all over. Grip her thighs a little harder. If you want to be a little bold, put your hand here and gently squeeze. Play with her hair. Pull her hair a little bit. Gently at first if you have no experience with that stuff. But play around with all the different aspects. You have these hands for a reason. Use them. You have your fingertips. You can grip. You have your mouth. You have your tongue. You have your teeth if you want to gently bite. There are all of these different ways that you can drive a woman insane that don't involve your penis. I often say this to my clients. Guys are obsessed with cock, including and maybe especially straight guys. You are so obsessed with your dick. It's like your dick is the entire thing that you know how to use. You don't know how to use your hands or your fingers or anything else like that, or your mouth or your tongue. Slow it down a little bit. There is more to you than just your dick. Stop objectifying yourself and thinking your dick is the only thing you have to offer. Realize that you can do foreplay. And by the way, that is one of my favorite suggestions for any of you guys that get performance anxiety or erectile dysfunction. Part of the reason why your dick doesn't work is because you put all the fucking pressure on your penis. And you say the only way I can have good sex is if my dick is like rock hard like steel. And if it's ever not hard, oh, I'm fucked, I can't do anything. No, use your hands, your mouth, your tongue, your lips, your words. Fuck her mind with your words as much as you fuck her body. Something else I hear as a complaint or a little bit of unhappiness, because most girls don't complain, but when they tell me things they're unhappy with, another one that I hear a lot is that half of the time, most of the time, girls don't have an orgasm. They just don't get a chance to. The guy doesn't seem to give a fuck. He doesn't use his hands or his tongue, and some women take a little bit longer to orgasm. That's okay. But in that case, use a vibrator. I myself have quite a few vibrators. This is my favorite. It is called the Doxy Magic Wand. I like it because it's very freaking powerful. You just put the big giant head anywhere near her clit. Start with the absolute lowest setting because this bad boy is really powerful. and just put it on her pussy and send her to heaven. This one is also pretty good. It's called the Satisfier, and I can't remember which one this is, but just pretty much any Satisfier is pretty good. These you have to be a little bit more fiddly with. If you can see the entrance, that needs to go exactly on her clit, and you have to have it in the right spot because otherwise she won't feel any sensation. So with this one, you can often just hand it to her and say, I want you to give yourself an orgasm. I'm going to watch. I'm going to whisper dirty things in your ear. I'm going to tell you how pretty you are. I'm going to tell you that you're being a very good girl for me, and I want you to get yourself off. But again, what I hear from most women is that most of the guys they sleep with don't give two shits about whether or not she has an orgasm, whether or not she has a good time, whether or not she gets to kiss as much as she wants to, whether or not she gets to enjoy foreplay. He's just like, I'm horny, I'm going to shove the dick straight in. And that, like I said, is one of the main complaints that I hear from women. The sex was over in 2 to 3 minutes. And I'll talk in a second about how you can last a lot longer, how you can expand it out to sex that can last hours, which is usually how long I take. And you don't always have to take hours. Sometimes I'm horny and the sex will be over in 5 minutes. But even then, there's a lot of other stuff that I do afterwards, which I'll talk about in a second, so that it kind of expands out a little bit. And it's not just over and done with in 2 to 3 minutes. And she goes, well, I guess that's my sex life. Something else that a lot of guys don't do is asking her how she's feeling during sex. Saying, do you want it harder? Do you want it slower? Do you want to try a different position? What are you feeling? In other words, just giving a shit about her pleasure. Similarly, most guys don't compliment or praise women during sex. They're not saying you're sexy. They're not saying you're beautiful. They're not saying you're pretty. They're not saying, my God, you're driving me crazy. This is something that I like to do a lot. I give so many compliments and so much praise during sex, especially the first time I'm with a new woman. I will gently caress her body and undress her and tell her how fucking beautiful or pretty every single part of her body is. I will spend a lot of time on her breasts and say, your tits are so hot, they're so pretty, you're so beautiful. I'll caress her thighs and tell her she's lovely. I will ask her, what parts of your body are you insecure about? And then I will spend extra time on those body parts, worshiping them, telling her how pretty I find that part of her, and making sure she feels fucking sexy, because the kinkiest sex that you are ever going to have is when a woman feels very, very, very fucking comfortable with you and feels very sexy and wanted and desired. And that's something else that I do. I tell her that in the reverse. I say, you're making me feel good. You're driving me fucking crazy. Holy shit, you're so good at that. Especially if she's doing something that she doesn't have a lot of experience with or she's a bit nervous about. I will tell her, oh my God, you're so good at that. Oh my God, that is the best blowjob ever. You're so good at this. Oh fuck, you're driving me crazy. And most women will tell you that the thing that drives them the most crazy is knowing that you're being driven crazy. In other words, most women's biggest turn on, maybe all women, but most women's biggest turn on is being desired, being wanted, having you lose your fucking mind and lose control for a little bit because she's so sexy. Being desired is the biggest turn on for women. And so say that to her. Most guys also don't change positions very much. They'll just pick a position and go at it. And they don't take breaks. I myself take a ton of breaks. This is one of the little cheat codes of how you can make your sex last a lot longer and expand it outwards. Every time you start getting close to coming, just stop. Just change position. Even just the act of going from like doggy style to missionary, in that like 5 seconds that it will take you to change position, you calm down a little bit and maybe now you're not quite so close to coming. You can also take your dick out entirely and go down on her or finger her or make out with her or cuddle her or stop entirely and just lay there and talk about some things. I do this a lot during sex. It's how I can have these long like fucking 5-hour sex marathons sometimes where, and to be clear, most of my sex is not like that, but at the very least, I think at least 30 minutes is like the shortest I'm ever going to have sex. You just take a break, you chill for a little bit and you talk. Sometimes I'll even go for a walk. We might go and get dinner. She's all hot and flustered and you're hot and flustered. It's really fun to go and sit in a restaurant and you're looking across from each other or you're sitting in a cafe or going for a walk and you're both like, oh God, I'm so fucking turned on right now. And she whispers to you, oh God, like, please, can you keep fucking me? And you're like, yeah, let's just eat this ice cream or eat this dinner. Then we're going to go home and do some fucked up things together and have a blast. So taking breaks, even just a little short break or a longer break, helps make that sex last for even longer. And again, I want to be very clear. You don't always have to have sex that lasts for like hours and hours and hours. Do this because you want to, not because you have to. And maybe I could have said that about all of this stuff. You don't have to do all of the stuff that I'm talking about here. But if you would like sex that blows her mind, if you would like her to be 10,000 times more likely to come and see you again or to keep seeing you, Pick any of the things that I've said here so far and any of the things that I'm about to say in a second. Pick maybe one or two of them and start practicing those things. Start getting better at them. I was not that great at any of this stuff when I started. I really wasn't. I just practiced a little bit with each woman that I saw. You know, if I saw a woman multiple times, I'd practice with her. Or if I saw a new woman, I would practice some of this stuff with her. I would constantly ask women, and I still do now, what was your past like? What has it been like to fuck other guys? What are maybe some guys that have given you a great experience? What are maybe some of the ones that didn't give you a great experience? Like, what do you like? What do you don't? What do you not like? And then you can open up about what you like, and she can give you a better sexual experience. Like, this is a two-way street. There are a lot of things that a woman can do to make a man feel amazing too. Maybe I can do a follow-up video if any of you women want me to. But women, just ask guys, what do you like? And guys, just tell her what you like. Something else that a lot of guys don't do is they haven't been willing to experiment or try new things. That could be a particular kink. That could be a toy. That could be a vibrator. That could be restraints. That could be just a sex act. That could be something like maybe you guys don't do doggy style much, so you practice that a little bit more. But this is one of the things I hear often from women when they say they haven't had the best sexual experiences with a guy or multiple guys is he didn't experiment. He didn't seem to give a shit what my kinks were. He didn't ask me what's on my sexual bucket list, which, by the way, is something I recommend all of you do. Say to your partners, what is on your sexual bucket list? What are some things you've always wanted to try? Get them to write out the whole list and send it to you, and then you write your list and you send it to them. Make it very clear that you won't judge them for anything that's on the list. If there's anything on the list that's a turn-off to you or you feel a bit weird about, you can just politely say, I don't think that's something that I want to try, and leave it at that. But you can go through each other's lists and you can tick at least one thing off every single time you see each other. And that, oh my God, makes it way more likely that someone will keep seeing you because now you are the person that facilitates their sexuality. They have a huge reason to come and see you again and to keep seeing you because they know this person isn't going to judge me and I get a chance to try all the kinky, cool, interesting, weird, funny, crazy things that I've always wanted to try that I didn't feel comfortable telling other people. And another thing, and maybe the final thing, is that guys will often not cuddle or hang out or spend some time after sex. A lot of the time, women have told me, you know, my last boyfriend would just fuck me, and it was over in like 3 to 5 minutes. I didn't have an orgasm. We didn't kiss. We didn't do foreplay. And as soon as he came, he just rolled over and fell asleep. Nisha, one of the girls that I'm seeing right now, every time she and her partner would have sex, he would just roll over and go straight to sleep. And she was like, well, okay, I guess that's it then. And then she would just lay there and fuck around on her phone until she felt tired and she fell asleep. So even just hanging out for like 10 or 15 minutes after sex, just hanging out for a little bit and chilling or cuddling or just having a bit of time together or going for a walk or doing anything like that makes such a huge fucking difference. And particularly if you've had really rough sex, and that, by the way, is something else that a lot of guys don't do. They're not passionate. They're afraid to let their passion come out. But if you have very passionate or kinky or BDSM sex, cuddling afterwards and just saying, how did that feel? Were parts of that intense? What would you like to do next time? But even if you just have regular, chill, normal, vanilla sex, when you're cuddling in bed afterwards, say, how did that feel for you? Was there anything we just did there that you really liked? Was there anything you want to try next time? How are you feeling? Do you feel satisfied? Do you want another orgasm? You know, sometimes I'll be with a partner. I'll give her 1 or 2 orgasms. You know, I usually use the vibrators or hands or fingers or whatever. I'll give her 1 or 2 orgasms, and then afterwards I'll say, how do you feel? Like, are you feeling satisfied? And sometimes, even though I just gave them 2 orgasms or they gave themselves 2 orgasms or whatever, they'll say, I'm kind of still horny. And sometimes even just hearing that makes me horny, and then I want to have sex with them again. But often I will just say like, okay, like here, I'll hand them this vibrator and I'll go, here you go, make yourself feel really good. Or I'll go down on them, or we'll cuddle and they'll touch themselves while I kiss them and tell them that they're pretty. So afterwards, hang out a little bit, ask how it went, ask if there's anything else they want to try, ask what they want to do next time. And I promise this will make such a big difference to your sex life. You'll blow her mind. More than anything, she'll probably be really fucking grateful for you because you actually give a shit, and most guys don't. All right, if you want any more help with any of this, if you want help with meeting women, having beautiful sexual experiences with them, dating, romance, any of that stuff, or anything else, I have 2 options with coaching. I have my big hardcore VIP coaching program, which will get you direct access to me as your personal cheerleader, your coach, your mentor, all of that beautiful stuff. We have payment plans. I'm happy to jump on a free call and talk about that with you. There's a link down below. And then we also have our affordable $200 a month coaching community called the Abundance Collective. So everyone in there will give you lots of love, lots of support, help you with all of this stuff. Those 2 options, both down below. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, have some fun, have some kinky, crazy sex, blow her mind, and don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Don't be afraid to kiss a little bit. On behalf of all fucking women, guys, please, fuck. Make out with women a little bit more, and don't just shove your dick in them and then come 2 fucking minutes later. I promise you, I'm doing a PSA right now, and on behalf of all women, they will fucking love you for that.